Alhamdulillah, I am grateful for having Crohn's. I am grateful for losing someone I loved, in the sense that it made me grow as an individual and become the adult that I am today, and it brought me to God. And I realized that there wasn't anything you could have done to get me to believe in God or a higher power or any sort of religion unless you had broken me down that far, until you stripped me of my job, of one of my best friends, of my tour family, and of my health, until all of that was stripped away.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sahabat Unirifa yang insya Allah dirahmati Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Semoga teman-teman semua dalam keadaan sehat walafiat, amin.
Video ini adalah kisah Laurora, seorang wanita cantik asal Ukraina yang menderita penyakit langka yaitu Crohn's disease atau kelainan usus. Tidak hanya diuji dengan penyakit, dia juga mendapat cobaan bertubi-tubi, dari mulai kehilangan pekerjaan sampai kehilangan sahabat yang dia sayangi. Dari kejadian itu, Laurora mulai mencari jawaban dari hidupnya sampai suatu saat dia menemukan Islam. Allahu Akbar. Seperti apa kisahnya dan videonya, mari kita saksikan.
Assalamualaikum. Hi guys. So today I'm going to be doing my conversion story to Islam. How did I come to be a Muslim? My friend from the music industry had passed away. He had died in a motorcycle accident, and it left me feeling like I was in this anxiety bubble all by myself. Nobody could get me out of those anxiety spirals that I would start going down. And just as I lost these two people in my life, I had to go in for the biggest procedure that I had ever endured. And it was the scariest moment of my life. I sat in my hospital bed. Excuse me for getting emotional about this. And I called his phone and listened to his voicemail. Because I half expected for him to pick up the phone. And obviously he never did. And at that moment in time I realized, Kendall, you're alone. You're alone in this, and not in a negative way. I know that I had family that loved me, but this life, you come into it alone and you will leave it alone. And something clicked in my mind, and I realized that I wasn't in control of this life. This wasn't me holding all the cards. But there was something more. And after I came out of surgery, if you guys have ever had surgery, you've ever been under MAC anesthesia, you know that you don't remember very much from the first maybe half hour. And a couple weeks later after my surgery, my father came to me and he said, I think I should tell you what you told me when you came out of anesthesia. And I said, what? Please don't let it be something embarrassing, or something he didn't know that I might have done when I was younger or something. But he said that when you woke up, the first thing you said was, I saw him. And I say him because I don't wish to say my friend's name. I do not want to draw any attention to him or his family. He is simply mentioned because he is such an innate part in this journey of mine. but my relationship with him I would like to keep completely private and do not wish to gain any sort of acknowledgement for knowing him or anything like that. So just for those reasons I will keep him nameless in this video. But I said to my dad I saw him, and I just kept talking about him. I said he was okay, and that this is really hard to film, I'm sorry guys. And he told me to make sure his daughter was okay, and that his wife was okay, and just make sure that they were good. And that was really, really hard to hear coming back from my dad. And it really shook me, and it put me into a very emotional place. And I was sad and confused because I hadn't even gotten the chance to go to his funeral or his memorial because we lived on two different sides of the country. So things are still, even to this day, very raw because I haven't had that full mourning process. So anyways, as I was in that state of mind, I came across a line from the Quran that said, Allah does not burden one with more than they can bear. And that line kind of came at me like a ton of bricks, and I said, wait a second, maybe I've been looking at this all wrong. Maybe I'm given this life because I'm strong enough to live it, because I can do this, and that there's going to be a life after Crohn's, a life after PFC, and all these tests and surgeries and doctors and pain, that it will one day stop. And I started to believe, the more I read from the Quran, that God is not going to just endlessly torture me. He didn't put me here on earth to be in pain. He put me here as a test, to test my character of who I am and how I'm going to deal with these situations that I'm put into. So I took my Shahada about a month after I had that experience.
Setelah masuk Islam, Laurora segera memberitahukan keputusannya itu kepada keluarganya. Meskipun keluarganya menganut Katolik Roma, mereka tetap bahagia terhadap putrinya. Karena sekarang lebih bahagia, Laurora berpendapat jika dia tidak menemukan Islam, mungkin dia sudah menjadi gila dengan ujian yang dihadapinya.
Roman Catholic family, my parents were glad that I had accepted God into my life, since previous to this whole experience I had rejected the Catholic background that I'd been brought up on, and I believed in nothing, basically, in short. So they were happy that I found God and that God was now a part of my life. But it was hard for my grandparents to accept, and I think the only person in my life that really accepted it was my dad. He was really embracing of it. It's been an emotional journey to get to Islam, and if you asked me 2 years ago if I would think that I would be here making this video for you guys, I would have said that you were crazy. I don't usually tell my story. I usually kind of just say, you know, I was Catholic and now I'm Muslim. But that's how it happened, and I am so happy to be a sister in Islam. Bye guys.